All right, guys, welcome to what is my now favorite AI tool, and that is Loveable.dev. This is the future, in my opinion, of lead magnet creation, website creation, micro SaaS creation. Word of caution, you start going down this road, two things can happen. One, you can end up spending some money that you can't afford. So be careful with that, because essentially every time you interact with this app, you're going to be charged tokens. Second thing, don't plan on creating something unless you plan on releasing it and using it. Okay. It's dangerous. So what is Loveable? Loveable is basically an automated AI code creator. I'm not a programmer. I couldn't write code if I tried. All right. I mean, I've been around long enough in the marketing world to understand some basic stuff, but nothing, to create a full-on app. And I have created all of these. I'm going to have an entire course devoted to just building micro SaaS and apps inside of Loveable. I want to show you this because it's part of my AI toolkit. And that's what I promised inside of this course, was to show you what I use to build my business. And this is a great example of it. So I had an idea, and this is inside of Claude. And I use Claude for this because it does a really good job of this. I think it's done a better job than ChatGPT. So this is in one instance where I didn't use Claude just for copywriting. Or what I would recommend that you do is you come into Claude and you basically tell it what you want it to do, or what you want to do. And I wanted to create this micro SaaS tool called Ad Writer, a way for me to be able to, or anyone, to use this as a tool to drop a concept and it would spit out an ad and add variations for all the new Andromeda formats that it likes to see. Basically, here's what I did. I came in and I said, I'm creating a micro SaaS tool called Ad Writer. The domain will be adwriter.co. This is going to be a lead magnet SaaS that I use in ads to attract customers for Elite Marketer Academy. So I'm giving it context. I'm going to use this as a lead magnet. So it's going to be a free tool that anyone who clicks on that ad can use. The basic concept of the tool will be that a user can enter details about their offer, and then my tool writes them effective ad copy and gives them scripts for any videos for the ads. I've created a knowledge base that I want you to use as the foundation for the tool. I'd like you to help me create what's called a product research document for this, so I can feed it into Loveable.dev and create this new project. In this document, this I built with ChatGPT. I said basically that I need you to help me create a knowledge base that's based around the new Andromeda algorithm. And this is what it created. I didn't create this from scratch. Pretty cool. But with Claude, make sure you always ask for clarification. And look what it did. It came back and it asked me questions. Should users create accounts? And then this is how I respond to all those. It asked me 10 questions about like creative guidance, branding, tech stack preference, like stuff that I never would have known to ask, right? And then I answered all the questions just by numbering them and then just respond with the answer. It wanted to know, should users create accounts or can they use the tool without registration? If registration is required, what auth method, email, password, Google Auth? Do you want to capture emails before they generate ads? So here was my answer to that. I want to have a landing page that explains and markets the power of the tool. Users should then have a button to click on to create their free account. I want them to have to enter their name, email, and password. Be sure the passwords match. That's all I said. And I answered all the rest of the questions, and then it created me this PRD document. Now, why am I doing this? I was actually on a course. I took like an $18 course on Udemy. Essentially, what it taught you to do is create this PRD document. I don't even know what that is or what it was, but it creates this massive document that basically breaks down everything of what this product is. And I didn't need some stuff in it. And so what I did is I brought this over to a Microsoft Doc or a Google Doc, and I took these launch phases out because it didn't need to know that. I just copied it and I pasted that whole document right there. That's all I did. And it spit out pretty much this app and the page and everything. I mean, I've worked with it a little bit, but I haven't done a whole lot. Most of it was like on the design. And I'd recommend that you like take care of the design first and then, but it like created it. And you can see I'm already logged in, right? And I click on a new ad and you just tell it about your offer and it'll generate your ads for you. And I did this in like 30 minutes. And then what it does is like, it suggests things to you, but this is where it can get expensive because it charges you tokens every time you have it do a project. Now there's a cool little feature here that I recommend that you use all the time. It's called chat. Chat does not. It just won't build anything or execute anything, but chat's a great thing to use so that you can kind of like iterate and you can ask it questions and you can kind of come up with a plan, and it'll see that the AI that you're communicating with will ask you, do you want me to implement the plan? Now, as soon as you click implement the plan, it's going to start using those credits. Now, there's some things that you need to understand about Loveable. It's not perfect. So you got to be careful about some of the things that you're using it for. It can be a little complicated. If you don't understand marketing, kind of those back-end systems, it can be a little overwhelming. So what I would encourage you to do first, go master automations and things in like Elite 360. Make sure you understand the why and the hows behind the marketing before you try to get into stuff like this. I'll give you an example. I have a client, Morgan. She deals with women in health and fitness. And I built her this metabolic adaptation quiz. So basically, they can answer questions, and based on the responses, it can create a custom response. Here, I'll show you. I'll just walk you through. And this is all custom built. We designed this mostly to display on mobile because that's where most of our traffic comes from. But there was a lot of back and forth with this app. I mean, you can see, you got to be careful. There's some people out there who are like selling courses on how to use Loveable. And it's like, in one prompt, you can have a full-on, app. Not really. You need to know what you're doing. I've built some other ones that I actually use as lead magnets. This one right here, this is an audit. You can enter some information and find out where your business is at and see where your results are in your business. So I'll take you through it. So for example, do you have a specific offer? So the first pillar of any kind of good marketing ecosystem is having a good offer, right? So let's just say it's a 2, that's 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 a 2. And it immediately gives offer recommendations. Then the next section is lead gen. Let's just say 2, 3. Let's say you're really good. You have a really good paid ad campaign going and you've got multiple there. Then it's going to give the recommendations based on the things you're not so good at. And then we're going to the next section. And let's say your nurture is like non-existent. And there's the custom recommendations based on all of their responses. Notice how there's a little call to action to my course. And the last one, conversion. Do you have a structured, repeatable sales process? Most people do. Let's say that their sales are pretty solid. Okay, see my ecosystem score. Boom, there's a score. Audit complete, saving their audit. And now their audit history is going to be in here, and they can go back and they can edit it. Okay. And then I've got an ecosystem training that walks them through my training. I built this whole thing inside of Loveable. This took me a long time, and it took me a lot of back and forth, and it cost some money. So I'm pointing this out to you because I'm a man of my word. And in this course, I'm going to give you my AI toolkit. This is what I use. I'm going to be walking you through the tools that I'm using. And Loveable is one of those tools that I use. I'm using it to create multiple lead magnets. I got another one that can help you build high ticket offers and help you audit your offer or optimize your offer. I've got other ones that I'm working on. The reverse engineer your revenue. This one's really, really cool. This is like Loveable's superpower. So one of the things that I would always do with clients is help them see realistically, like what kind of numbers they need to hit. Because people are like, I want to make $1 million a month. Okay. You want to make $1 million a month. And what's your return on advertisement goal? Let's say they want a 4X and their offer value is 3,000. And right now they're averaging about 500 leads a month. Well, let's just say 1,000. And they're booking on average 50 calls, and they get like a 60% show rate, and their close rate is 30%. And they want to make $1 million a month, and they're generating 1,000 leads a month. Calculate my KPIs. Get to that number, okay? This is where they're currently at. They need 37,000 leads in order to get to that number. But it shows them, $7 cost per lead is what they need to hit, how many book calls they're going to need to do. And I really like this because then I can break it down to daily what they need to be doing. And so they can come back and they can set. But I built this very quickly. These kinds of things inside of Loveable, that's where Loveable's superpower is. Really simple, quick calculators. And I'll put this in the full course that I'm going to do on this because you got to connect your domain, and there's some other things that go into publishing the project and getting it live. But I have figured out how to connect this to Elite 360. And the cool thing I like about this is you don't have to go pay for a third-party web hosting or something like that. I'm probably going to start building websites in these. It's that cool. This is the future. If you're not starting to learn kind of Loveable or building micro SaaS and micro apps, you're going to probably get left behind. You need to be investing in someone or something that knows what they're doing when they're building these things. Okay, guys, that's Loveable. I'll see you in the next section.